guys, it's Kelly here and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my August bullet journal setup video. First off, as always, let's take a quick look through my July spread. For my July spread, I picked a cloudy night sky theme, and I really hoped that the metallic would be more visible and you can see the stars, and that the blue wouldn't be as patchy as it turned out to be, but some things happened and it didn't turn out the way that I planned. So yeah, this is again not my favorite. I feel like I've said this all year long, but this is not my favorite spread, but it was enjoyable to look at. I do like blue and I like clouds and I like stars, so you know, I'm okay with it. But for my August theme, I went with a dragon theme. And the reason why I did that was, first off, because I've mentioned this before, but I try to incorporate more different colors in my spreads every month. So I try not to repeat way too many of the same colors because I do tend to gravitate towards a certain aesthetic and certain colors. For instance, I love blue and I really like the black and white color schemes, but I don't want my spread to be entirely black and white or entirely blue, so I try to use all the different colors that I possibly can. So I have like a little log where I keep track of which colors I used, and it turned out that I hadn't used orange this year yet, so I decided to go with something orange. And last year when I did my orange spread, I used it was just like accents, and it was a animal theme again. It was an ostrich theme, which turned out really cute, and that's one of my favorite themes. And for this one, I was wondering if I should do another animal one, or I was wondering because, you know, you think of the color orange, you think of the fruit orange, but I already did a lemon theme in January. In January. So I was like, no, I don't want to do another fruit theme. And then I thought about, okay, so August, what happens in August? And some time ago I found these monthly art challenges, and you know, like Mermaid, when you draw mermaids, or March of the Robots, where in March you draw robots, and in August it's actually called Smallgest, and people draw dragons. And I thought that was just perfect. I'm gonna have a little contribution to the Smallgest art challenge, and I'm gonna do my variation with my kind of dragon, and that's kind of how this became a bullet journal theme. So yeah, I am really happy with how it turned out. I specifically wanted to avoid any connection to Game of Thrones, so I really wanted a spread where I could draw a dragon egg, but I felt like whatever kind of dragon egg I draw, it's still gonna, you know, draw conclusions to Game of Thrones, pun intended. So I ended up not doing that, and I also tried to not use a font that is very similar to that. And somewhere along the way, like, I was almost done with the spread, and I suddenly thought that I used the actual Game of Thrones font, because I just searched for Gothic fonts on the font, and I picked one that I thought would suit the theme. And suddenly at the end of the theme, I was like, oh my god, did I use the actual Game of Thrones font? But it turned out I didn't. It's a lot simpler. And yeah, so this one was a little bit of a hassle to create just because of the font, but we'll get to that in a second. I just wanted to take a quick mention. I'm almost done with the cover page at this point, but I just wanted to quickly mention what I'm doing right now with the markers, since I can't really blend these regular old markers and my page won't handle it. The way I decided to do a gradient was just color block the three colors and then use these little lines coming in through different colors to kind of make it appear as a gradient. And personally, I know it's not super blended, like it's not at all, but I quite enjoy it. It just makes the colors kind of interconnected. And I don't know, I like it. I hope you guys like it too. This is a technique I've seen from, I believe her name was Kelsey. I will link her channel in the description bar down below. She has an art channel, and she has a very distinct and unique art style. But she also uses these really interesting techniques in terms of blending and line art and colors. So if you want to see definitely something interesting, then you should check out her channel. And again, I will put a link in the description bar down below. But anyway, that's so much for the gradient. I spend a lot of time on the fonts because they are very intricate and I am horrible, absolutely horrendous at calligraphy. And I've tried some, and when I try and when I practice, it turns out good. But this type of font, like, I don't know how much practice I need to have for this. I don't see any near future where I will be good at creating that with just one marker. So the deal with that and the way that I just kind of do it is that I sketch out the letters as if they were drawings. So basically I just redraw the letters, and naturally that takes a lot of time, and you have to draw them out first, sketch them out with the pencil, then you have to erase the pencil a little bit, and then you have to draw them with the line art and then color them in. So there is a lot of cutting in this video, mostly because of that. So usually I would just start on a letter and then just skip to the end of the whole word, just because I don't really think that this is the most like interesting part, and nobody wants to see me struggle with where to put the lines of the letters. So yeah, excuse the non-stop cutting, but this video was going to be 2 miles long if I didn't. So I just took time and figured out which are the more important parts and what I do differently on each page, and basically have you guys get like the full idea of how the page looks and how it would work. So in terms of the dragons themselves, I use only silhouettes, because another thing I'm really bad at is drawing animals. I'm sorry, not animals, creatures. I'm good at drawing animals when I have a reference, but creatures are really hard for me, and I don't know why. It's just my brain can't comprehend them. So a few years ago, I took a character design class, and that was one of the most helpful things I've ever done. It wasn't an online one. It was an actual, like, I don't want to say a seminar because we were like 10 people, but like it was with a teacher, and he would explain, he would take a look at all of your work, you had attendance and everything, and it's still to this day one of my favorite things and the favorite things that I've done, even though I wasn't as happy with the teacher himself just because, well, reasons, but you know, I think he had so much to teach us and he really did it well. And one of the things that he mentioned, and one of the things that he taught us, was to use silhouettes. So he used them in different terms. For instance, in posing, when you struggle with drawing poses and when you struggle with drawing dynamic poses in particular, you should try drawing the silhouette, because our brain works in a certain way where it is it recognizes silhouettes before anything else. So that is very helpful if you're struggling. So if you want to draw something that you've never drawn before, or you don't know how exactly to draw it, a good tip would be to start with the silhouette, because chances are, even if you're not sure of all the details, your brain is pretty sure on the overall shape and form of the thing you want to draw. So that was his explanation, was for the poses, but I found it to be true for creatures, for me at least, as well. Because yes, I do not know how exactly the anatomy of a dragon works and where all his different parts meet and what it looks like, but the shape and the silhouette I am pretty sure of. So that's why I went with these black dragons, and they kind of look like tattoos, which I'm also really happy with, and I think they just look really cool, and they're all kind of different, they're not all the same, and yeah, I'm actually really happy with my dragons. Another thing with the silhouettes, it's just like a another kind of random fact for you guys, if anyone's interested, is for character design, and not only does the silhouette help with the dynamic poses, but also when you're creating characters for comic books or for animations, it is very important for them and for each one of them to have a very distinct silhouette. So something that you do see, since, for instance, in Disney, every single character has a very distinct silhouette. That's why when you see only the outline, you can immediately guess which character it is. So that is very important in character creation as well. So, you know, taking a second to look at silhouettes is going to definitely help you in a lot of different ways concerning art. And yeah, I would definitely recommend that you check it out as a technique. Now I am on to my mood tracker, where I'm doing the same thing with the gradient and just trying to kind of break it up at the end so it seems like it's fading into the page. And like I said, I think it's cool and it looks kind of decent, and it also is better on my pages because my pages are not handling, well, anything at all. These are very bad pages. I'm very unhappy with this bullet journal, but the year is almost over, so, well, it's not almost over, it's August. But you know what I mean. I'll be moving on to a new one in the near future. But for my mood tracker, I decided to do this. I've done similar spreads like this for my moods, where I have all of the days, and I draw, in this case, a different size sphere coming out from the ground. And the higher it goes, the better my mood was. And also on the right, we had a legend where if the sphere end is a specific shape, then that means a specific thing for today. For instance, there's a normal one, there's a spearhead that is if I had a headache or a migraine that day, or if I was tired. And I think that's really cool. At the end of the month, these type of spreads look really interesting and just cool when you flip through them. So next month I'll be sure to spend some time while flipping through that page, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna turn out really cool. So yeah, that is one thing I've done. I've done it before with flowers, I believe. So the higher the flower went, the better my mood was. But here I thought it was kind of like a medieval theme, so we had some military spears. For my books and TV tracker, I just used a very simple design. I have books and TV on each side and just a giant flame in the middle of the page. And I think this is my favorite one after the cover page, just because it's so simple and yet so striking. So yeah. For my socials and my social media tracker, I've been trying to find a better way to track my social media, because I do have the trackers for each page that I have for my Instagram and for my YouTube. But for my planner, I'm struggling a little bit, because I used to have this calendar where I would mark when I uploaded something. And then on the bottom, I would have ideas and write down ideas for videos. But I have not posted on my Instagram page in I think half a year now, and I really want to get back into it, and I'm trying really hard to figure out a way to do it, because I do have a theme and I do have a set of things that I post you know, as a sequence, I suppose. And yeah, but I haven't had really the time or the desire to post more, so I'm trying to get back into it. So I'm trying to just kind of spice up the social media planner page. We'll see how this works for this month. Maybe I'll use it in the next, maybe I'll figure out if it works or if it doesn't. So, you know, stay tuned. I will figure that out eventually. And yeah, so we are done with this page. For the last one, for my sleep tracker, I just drew a little sleeping dragon, and now we are into the flip through. There are some pages that don't have the gradient and don't have colors, but that is only because while I am going to be filling them out, that is where the colors are going to show up. So that's why some of the pages are colorless. And yeah. So that's basically it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe if you like what you see and would like to see more. And I would love to hear your opinion about my smallest bullet journal setup video and my pages and just basically what you guys think. So thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!